What's up everyone, Sean Count Blagrith here today with my top 25 albums of 2013. Yes, this is late. Yes, this is a redo. And I'm going to fly through this as quick as I can. Old camera, new setup. I will be using the new camera again once I can figure out what the issue is with the last upload. But regardless, I am here to talk about the top 25 albums of 2013. Let's fly through these as quick as possible. Number 25, Carcass with Surgical Steel. Excellent death metal album. Not as good as everyone made it out to be, but still damn good and worthy of being the number 25 spot. Number 24, Prosanctius Inferni with the Noctamblus Jaws and Sepiternal Night. Ripping black and death metal. Can't recommend it enough if that's what you're into. If you're not into that stuff, either of those genres, this will not change your mind at all. Anyways, number 23, Profanitica with Thy Kingdom Cum. Absolutely filthy black metal for filthy people. Can't recommend this one enough as well. If you're a fan of just the dirty, disgusting sound that Profanitica is known for, feel free to dive headfirst into this album and love every second of it just like I did. Number 22, Grave Upheaval with Untitled. Die Hard edition behind me. This is such a damn good album, guys. If you're into death metal that's just super atmospheric, evil, heavy in every way possible, but it sounds like noise. It's the Streborg of death metal. This is for you. Excellent stuff. And at number 21, Graveland with Thunderbolts of the Gods. A great return from Graveland, especially coming after Cold Winter Blades, just bringing back just more of that absolutely awesome, epic, huge sounding black metal that we've all come to know and love Graveland for in recent years. But also keep in mind, it is not as good as the old material. Carpathian Wolves, Celtic Winter, so good. Regardless, still a damn good album. Alright, number 20, Consieved in Sewage by Graveland. This is an album that is just heavy, heavy, heavy. The only way I can describe this album, guys. Just an absolutely punishing album. This is an album that will just rape you from beginning to end over and over again. I feel like I should press charges for assault against Devourment for how sick this album is. But damn it, I love it. It is damn good. Highly recommended. Number 19, Weekend Nachos, Still. If you're a fan of hardcore, grindcore, power violence, you're going to feel at home with this record, guys. This is a great return from my favorite power violence band, bar none. Absolutely amazing stuff. It's hardcore on steroids, it's fast, it's heavy, it's catchy, it's brutal, it's fun, and it is awesome. Can't recommend this album enough. Number 18, Disfigured Dead with Relentless. This is a Relentless death metal album. From this very first note to the very last, this is one of the most punishing death metal releases I've heard this year. Absolutely nauseatingly heavy. It's fast, it's technical, it's fun, and it is just a great album. Number 17, Goemagot with the Eradication of Insignificant Beings. These dudes have been gaining a lot of attention for a really good reason. They are one of the most solid bands going in the underground scene of death metal. Absolutely fantastic, brutal death metal and slam. If you want some nauseatingly heavy, just punishing death metal, this album is for you. Number 16, Falkenbach, Azza. Absolutely epic folk black metal that does not disappoint. It really brings back memories of the early Falkenbach material. It has that super just natural feel. It has these more somber, sad moments combined with these more upbeat black metal moments that create this really unique atmosphere that you don't really find a lot of these bands having. Just a great album full of memorable hooks, just great vocal lines. Everything about this album is extremely solid. I should have reviewed it earlier in the year, but I didn't. Number 15, Summoning Old Mournings Dawn. Absolutely great album. Excellent return from Summoning. Every song sounds different, and that is something that I love about this album. You take away something different each time you listen to it as well, and that is another great thing about this album from Summoning. It doesn't suffer from how repetitive it is, because there's not really a lot of stuff that's repetitive except for the songs themselves. Alright. Number 14, October Tide with Tunnel of No Light. Absolutely fantastic death doom. If you're a fan of death metal and doom metal, surprise, surprise, you're going to like this. This is pretty much a Swallow the Sun-esque sort of band, and it is just so good. If you like Swallow the Sun, give this a listen. Absolutely great stuff. Number 13, Deafheaven with Sunbather. Great album, absolutely beautiful, beautiful chords, great progressions, amazing lyrics. One of my favorite shrieks in black metal. The vocals are just so good. It's just a beautiful, moving record, and I know a lot of people are hating on this band because it's cool to hate on, but if you guys haven't heard it, you are missing out. Great stuff. And number 12, Euphoric Defilement with Ascending to the Worms. Good God. This is another one of those death metal albums that just left me in awe. It is one of the most brutal albums this year. It's a Relentless album with a constant blasting, yet it doesn't grow old because they put in enough variation with other drum patterns to create this sort of brutal death metal sound that you don't really hear that often. Absolutely awesome stuff. Some people would say it's run the mill, but I mean, if you really listen to this album, you're going to pick out a lot of things you're going to like, and this is a great album for you people that like great production. This is awesome. Number 11, Kaunan with Peruit. Kaunan is a post-metal band that combines elements of funeral doom, a little smidgen of black metal, a bit of folk music, all this stuff that's just beautiful and atmospheric, and combines it into one. And guys, this is one hell of an album that you have to experience at least once. This isn't an album that can be digested in small parts. You have to listen to the whole thing from beginning to end to truly appreciate what's happening. And guys, once when you do, you are going to fall in love with it. Number 10, Darkthrone with the Underground Resistance. Absolutely ripping album. Great return from Darkthrone. It is the logical continuation to Circle the Wagons. It combines elements of Motorhead, Agent Steel, and Celtic Frost to create this super awesome, catchy, head-bangable, old-school heavy metal record. But it has so much substance to it that you will keep coming back for more and more. Every time I listen to it, I find something else to love about it. And the vocals just are so good. A lot of people complained about them, but I love Nocturnal Culto's sort of grunty, sort of Tom G. Warrior-esque vocals combined with Fenrir's just absolutely awesome clean singing and falsettos. Great stuff on this album. Number 9, Sedir with Ginnungagap. This is a Death Doom album for people that are not really fans of Death Doom. You have to have the patience of a Doom metal fan to truly absorb this. But this isn't one of those Death Doom albums where it's kind of like super heavy death metal that kind of has tendencies to lean more towards death metal than the black metal, than the doom metal. But there's elements of black and drone and folk and it all is combined to create this amazing atmosphere that you truly have to sit down and listen to. It's an album that will change you. You will feel changed after listening to it as a person and as a fan of music. You will feel a change inside you by the time you have finished both discs to this album. Absolutely amazing stuff, and I really wish I had more time with this album, because I have a feeling it would be much higher on my list, but I really didn't get that much time with it at the time I made this list. So, number 8, Deeds of Flesh with Portals to Kaunan. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. If you like brutal, technical death metal, Deeds of Flesh, you already know. And chances are you already love. These guys have made a great return, completely destroying their last few records. By far the best stuff they've released in years. Absolutely mind-bending to listen to. This is an album where when you try to break it apart, your brain hurts from trying to process everything that happened. So, it is that good, guys. Highly recommended. Definitely check this album out. Number 7, Neige Eternal, self-titled. This is a debut album from a black metal band from Quebec, and I probably mispronounced their name, and I apologize greatly. With that said, this is such an awesome piece of old school black metal. This isn't anything that brings something new to the table in terms of black metal. It's not innovative, and quite, to be blunt and quite frankly, it's very run-of-the-mill sort of sounding. But the riffs are so good, the atmosphere, the vocals, everything about this album embodies everything I love about ice-cold, old-school black metal. And there is nothing trendy about this. There is nothing friendly about this album. This is a straight-up hateful, cold piece of black metal for people that like straight-up, old-school, cold black metal. Great stuff. Number 6, Parasitic Ejaculation with the Rationing of the Sacred Human Remains. Just mind-blowingly heavy. Some of the best production I've heard this year on an album, and by far one of the heaviest albums I've heard. From start to finish, it is just like a 50-pound hammer just being constantly smashed on your face. Once again, I want to charge these guys for assaulting me so hard while listening to this album. It's just so good. It's so heavy. It's so catchy. It's just a great, fun record to listen to. And if that's your thing, then dive into this album. This is going to be something that you're going to be returning to over and over again. Number 5, Sombre Forets with an album title I'm not going to try to pronounce. Titles and everything will be in the description, of course. So, with the Sombre Forets album, oh my god, one of the most beautiful pieces of music I've heard this year. It's an album that will truly relax you and unwind you. It will soothe how you feel. Any feelings you have going into the record that are kind of negative emotions, so to speak, more in the depression side of things, you will feel amplified. It will feel like if you're sad, you're going to want to shoot yourself. If you are in love, you're going to be even more in love by the time you're done listening to this album. It's one of those albums that plays on human emotion, and that's what I love about it. It's not the typical run-of-the-mill atmospheric black metal by any means. This great instrumentation is being performed with just these absolutely beautiful riffs that will just really carry the listener away into a different place with these absolutely pure, hateful screams that just give me chills every single time I hear it. Once again, Quebec black metal is doing a phenomenal job. And side note, Sepulchral Productions, top-notch label. Number 4, Passage Deafheaven with Das Tor, the return of the legendary Passage Deafheaven. Another album that I really should have reviewed, but I didn't because of time. And you guys need to understand, I have a life. And YouTube isn't the only thing I do. Regardless, Das Tor, one of the coldest, if not, scratch that, not one of the coldest album to come out in 2013. It combines everything I love about Passage Deafheaven, the raw, really abrasive, almost painful to listen to black metal combined with the ambient elements and the extreme repetition that make me love Passage Deafheaven so much are present on this album. And if you think their past releases are cold, this feels like you are stuck in the Arctic. It's just this freezing, chilling, ripping guitar that just pierces you straight to the bone, and you feel it through your entire body. This is a black metal album that is meant to be felt and experienced more than listened to in passing. If you want to listen to music, this is what you listen to. If you want something that's just background noise, listen to something else. If you truly want to experience music, this is an album for that. Close your eyes and listen to this album and be prepared to be taken away to another place. And it is painful and it is cold. So that is number 4. Top 3 albums. Number 3 is an album I reviewed around this time last year, and that is Catalepsy, Autopsychosis. The heaviest album that came out this year, bar none, hands down. There's not this year, last year, excuse me. You can debate me all you want, my opinion will not change. The riffs, the slams, the drumming, the bass, the absolutely, literally nauseatingly low vocals, the gutturals that this man produces is literally enough to make my stomach churn. I felt sick during one of the slams. I can't remember the song. I believe it's Between Two Worlds, the title, something like that. When that slam came in, not only was the slam just one of the most violent sounding things I've ever heard, but the vocals just made me feel nauseated and like I was gonna throw up just thinking about how that felt to just that out. Oh my god, so good. It's an album that will leave an impression on you, that's for damn sure. If you don't like slam already, you're not gonna like this. But guys, if you do and you're looking for something a little bit different and a bit more interesting than the typical one-man slam projects that have the vocals, this is definitely for you. Just, it will leave an impression on you. Great patterns, great songwriting, absolutely phenomenal musicianship. Definitely worthy of the number 3 spot. Number 2, Caladan Brood with Echoes of Battle. Caladan Brood out-summoned summoning in their worship, and they did it with, they came out this year, guys. I'm trying to find the words for this. They came out swinging this year, and they hit their target. They pretty much made summoning look like they were trying to worship Caladan Brood. I can't describe how amazingly epic and huge this album is. At first, I had one gripe with the album, and that was the obvious drum machine. But the more I listened to it, the more I was able to look past it and, in a way, enjoy it. And now that I have, I feel like it adds to the charm of the album. Great, croaky sort of far back in the distance screams combined with these riffs that are kind of just there as kind of a foundation for the phenomenal keyboard work that makes this album so great. The keys are just absolutely gorgeous. Everything from folk to symphonic. This is the most cinematic album I've heard since the Xanthroid album. I just want to make sure I pronounce that right. This is such a huge record. It blows my mind that not that many people really know about these guys. Such a good piece of music, and the clean vocals are just some of the most beautiful clean vocals I've ever heard. Every time I hear the very end of this song, it's gonna bother me. It's the final track on the album. Every time I hear that song, actually, I got the vinyl right here. Book of the Fallen. Every time I hear the end to Book of the Fallen, I feel completely moved. I feel almost choked up. And, you know, I really want to strap on my shield and raise my banners. If I had that. Just such a great song. And guys, it is time for my album of the year. This will not come as a surprise to many of you, but here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Album of the year goes to a band where I can't really pronounce the title of the album, but I can say the name of the band, and the band is Gree. Gree with Elamen Inflamme. I'm done. I'm done saying that title. I'm not going to insult the band and their native tongue that badly. As I said, it will be in the description. Oh my god, guys. This is one of the greatest albums I've pretty much ever heard. It is perfect. I can't say near perfect because I can't find a single thing I don't like about the album. Absolutely amazing songwriting and song structures combined with phenomenal instrumentation and musicianship, and it's combined to craft these absolutely amazing pieces of atmospheric black metal that takes black metal to a place where it's never really gone. Black metal has always been sort of a relaxing genre to me. It's a genre that I can really unwind to. Some people, they like to put on a country album to unwind, like an old school country album. I know some people like to do that. I know other people like to put on slower electronic music. For me, I like to put on Transylvanian Hunger or Agalloch. This combines everything I love about Agalloch's The Mantle and kind of creates this whole new sound with it by making these extremely warm sounding guitars and production and utilizing all these different techniques to create this very unique atmosphere that I haven't really found with many other albums other than The Mantle, which is another 10 out of 10 record for me. It's an extremely long record, but it's well worth the wait because it's one of those albums where you don't want it to end. There's all this tension being built. It's a roller coaster ride of emotions, but all of it is just absolutely beautiful, guys. One of the things that I like to say about this album is it's kind of like you just battled the harsh winter. You battled the coldness outside. You feel like you're losing life, and you come into a nice, warm, brightly lit cabin, and you sit down by the fire and you feel rejuvenated. You feel absolutely brand new. You feel like a new person again. And by the time you finish both discs of this album, just like the Sedir album, you feel changed as an individual. And it is one of those albums where I really wish more people could experience what I did. And I really wish more bands could do what Gree has done by crafting such a unique and perfect piece of atmospheric black metal. Once again, Sepulchral Productions, amazing, amazing job. Huge, huge amount of respect to them. And guys, go support them and pick up these albums. That's it, guys. Let me know what your top albums of the year were, and that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing. And as always, keep it metal.